Alrighty. In this business, in order to show any kind of integrity at all, you've got to give credit where credit is due. And when a reporter breaks a story, they deserve to be acknowledged for doing their due diligence. You know, I'm a content creator. I work hard. But journalists, they work hard too. And they spend too much time developing trust with sources, and they rely too much on establishing credibility when it comes to their reporting for the rest of us, not to recognize them when they get it right. So, in this case, Diana Rossini knew that this was going to happen. Knew that A.J. Brown was going to be traded to the New England Patriots months ago. And I know there were people out there, and I even said it too. Everybody was like, you know what? This is preposterous. And she even knew the precise date that this deal was going to be finalized. So let's play that clip for you guys.
Can I ask about the AJ? I have to ask you about the AJ thing. Do you think there's any chance that it happens before June 1st? Is there any chance?
No, I don't think it makes any sense for the Eagles to do that. And I think for even Brown's side of it, I think they understand how this is going to go. And I think once we get to post June 1, I think we'll get some more action. But I think those conversations that were happening, it's like a week ago now, between the Rams and the Patriots, and there were even some more teams before that really got heated up that were poking around on it, because there was a thought at one time that maybe Howie would be open to doing it, maybe before June 1, that there was like this small little thought, and that changed pretty quickly. Friday late afternoon was when pretty much that story was wrapped up, where I think everyone kind of went, all right, nothing's going to happen today, let's just wait for June, and then we'll bring the discussions back, and we'll see if we really do this.
Yeah. I'm going to tip my cap to her, because she knew about this all along. And when Adam Schefter dropped that chef bomb, it was right around 4:20. Yeah, kind of ironic, isn't it? 4:20. Y'all know the meaning of it. Not really going to tell you what it is on here. But the only open question was, what was the price to pay to get A.J. Brown? And Mike Vrabel had no problem with it. A first rounder in 2028. That's one of the ways you kick the can down the road. So, in reverse, it's kind of like, remember when Richard Seymour was traded in 2008? And that was for a first rounder in 2010. And let me tell you all this. That actually paid off for the Patriots. Because we all know that the Raiders, they were bad. And the Patriots got the number 8 pick. And who do we get in that draft? If you got to remember too, we actually traded back to number 10 to get Jerome Mayo, a DPOYT, Defensive Player of the Year. The Eagles are not even going to get no such value for that 2028 pick. And much of the football world may think that that's a high price, given the fact that Brown was essentially demanding a reunion with Mike Vrabel. But what they won't dispute is that A.J. Brown is going to add a ton to the Patriots. So, yeah, it is an upgrade. Essentially, to me, it is. And no one's going to argue that a wide receiver 1 and a wide receiver 2 combo of A.J. Brown and Romeo Doubs is going to make everyone forget about, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Or Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams. Or even with the Dallas Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. But it's not at all a stretch to say that they're in the conversation as one of the top 5 parents in the NFL. And just by himself, A.J. Brown gives Drake Maye the target who consistently ranks in the top 10 receivers in the NFL. Look up the analytics on that, people. So, yeah. If you look at what he did with the Eagles when they won the Super Bowl, he was a number 2 ranked wideout. Who was number 1? Nakua. And even last year, when he made zero effort to hide how frustrated he was with the Eagles, because he called the Eagles a shit show and spent the season fed all the way up with Kevin Padiulo's offense in general, and Jalen Hurts in particular. He was the 11th ranked wide receiver on PFFs. So in the past 15 seasons, the only Patriots to crack the top 10, I'll tell y'all, Stephon Diggs, last year at number 7, and Wes Welker in 2011. He was number 1 that year. And Mike Vrabel hopes that he can get that A.J. Brown from Philadelphia, the 2022-2023 Eagles. And the one he hated to part with, but he traded to Philly for the 18th and 101st overall pick. And now, shipped Tari Roseman a 2028 first round pick. Philadelphia, man, I'm not going to put this out. I'm not going to predict that the Patriots say win the Super Bowl in 2028. But the best pick, if you're hoping for the Eagles, the best pick out there, and you're hoping is a top 10 pick. They're not going to get a top 10 pick in 2028. No, there's no freaking way. And a 5th in a sort of Pro Bowl buyback program just to get this dangerous weapon off the streets of Philadelphia and finally bringing him to Foxborough, where Brown expected to be until Bill Belichick called an audible in the war room and selected N'Keal Harry. Instead, causing Brown, by his own admission, to carry the buckets with disappointment. And now, all these seasons later, that wrong has been righted. Man, OTAs, can't wait for that. And I'm not even going to predict them winning the Super Bowl this year. But, man, the Patriots this year, they have to do something. They had to do something after losing the Super Bowl. But, man, what a stop. What a stop. You knew that this was going to happen. Your thoughts, guys, down below. I'm out. Deuces. Go Pats.